Hello, folks. Jonathan Milam here with a trumpet review, and I have got a very nice Olds Super, and I know technically it's the Super Olds, is the way that it says it on the nickel silver tone ring here. Very pretty horn. What I'm going to do right away, I'm going to get into playing, and I've got a little SoundTrack system set up, got a new microphone. Actually, it's an old microphone, but a new setup, sound mixer, and hope the balances are acceptable. But we'll get started right away and let you hear what the horn sounds like, and then maybe we'll have some time to chat about it and even try a mouthpiece or two that will color the timbre just a little bit. Okay, great church song, Shepherd of My Soul. Hope you enjoy it, and hope everything works out here. Neat song, really a great song. And again, that is Shepherd of My Soul. Okay, we're talking about an Olds Super here from 1956, 1957, somewhere right in that range. I mentioned in a video that I did here a while back that I've had four Olds Supers. Definitely very, very privileged to have that many horns. I've had four Old Supers. Super Olds. The first one was from 46, pretty well worn. Couple of patches on it. Compression was acceptable, but probably nothing to write home about. Had a couple from the 60s, nice horns. This is maybe one of the best conditioned, good playing vintage horns that I've had. I think it has got a stellar, fat sound. I've heard to describe the Olds Super and sometimes the Specials as well. I think they share the same lead pipe. Fat is just the sound, very round, very, very full. I'm playing this with a Reeves medium, which has a fairly tight back bore, fairly shallow cup, and you're still getting a really decent sound to it. Anyway, the Olds that I had, the Super from 46, had an extremely light bell. This one does not. The bell is very solid. It's a well balanced horn. Usually, when I get old horns in, used to, the first thing I would do was strip the lacquer. I should have invested in chemical companies. And about the best I've seen is Easy Off, the yellow canned oven cleaner. I used to use what was it, aircraft paint remover, and then they removed some of the chemicals that it really doesn't do a whole lot for taking lacquer off. This horn has definitely got some scratches in the finish. Not sure if you can see it there. Yeah, you can see it just a little bit. If it were up to me, if I were going to be keeping this horn, I would be taking the lacquer off of it immediately. I love the looks of it. Raw brass does not affect me at all. I don't sweat hardly ever, and so holding on to the horn is no problem. Frankly, I like the way a horn sounds without the lacquer. I think it's just got a little more ring, but this horn has got a lot of lacquer left on it. Now, strangely enough, there's some darkening of the lacquer around the bell, and I thought at first maybe there was some bell damage, and that was from repair. I really don't think so. I don't think this horn has had any excessive trauma. because I've looked real closely, and you can usually see a little faded line of some sort if there's significant bell repair. I just don't see it on this horn. Not perfect. You definitely have some lacquer loss over here in the lead pipe area. What do you expect? This thing is 60, what was I figuring earlier, 63 years old? It is so old. It's even older than me. Old as dirt, as one person said. Not quite, but good looking horn. Again, I'm recording at night, which is probably not the best. You can see a little bit of wear deep in the bell here. But I think this is just the lacquer beginning to darken. It is possible that they had a lot of lacquer missing and somebody might have lacquered it before. But I cannot honestly tell what the situation is. Great horn. The one thing, in fact, a couple of horns that I've had recently, it plays more open than I like. For me, a Bach with a straight 25 lead pipe is just about heavenly. I've got a Binge here that's got a 4X, which Zig cancel. They didn't make a whole lot of them. A lot of guys think I'm mistaken when I tell them it's a 4X, but it has quite a tight lead pipe compared to mini horns. Definitely not wide open. And this Super is just a little more wide open than I like, and I've got a Cannonball that's the same way. Both great playing horns. They take a little bit out of me, which is why I went to the medium cup. Just a nice horn. Old Supers, they're specials. They're not really rare, but great players are. 46, the horn that I had, the old Super from 1946, quite a light bell. This one is not. I recently had an Olds Special from about this same time. I believe it's in Singapore right now. It, like this horn, had an exceptionally fat sound. And I know that there was a jazz guy that used to play, well, many of them played the Old Special, but his name was Blue. And he played one from close to this vintage, I believe. Just a very good fat sound. And nice compression. Very nice compression. Push that in and wait about 5 seconds and see. So you still do have some compression here, definitely. Missing the third slide pull. I thought I had an Olds third slide pull, but I got home. I've got 3 others. They're all too thin, and so I'm not even putting it in. Playing the E flat, you don't need it in. Even with I did a B scale when I was practicing here a while back. You really only need it out about 1/8 of an inch. You can probably lip anything that you want there. Okay, I did want to show you with a couple of other mouthpieces, the medium Reeves 42 medium cup that I was using, and his back bore as well. Quite shallow and tight if you're looking for a big sound, but the horn is gracious enough to make up for that. This is with a TF trumpet flugel hybrid mouthpiece. Not real huge. It's not like the Reeves C to J, which has, I think, an 11 drill. I think this has about a 24. Quite a deep V. Again, not quite as deep as the C to J, but it'll give you an idea of what the horn sounds like if you would want a little more mellow sound. Better turn the mic down before I blow us all out. Okay. And I have got here a much more shallow cup. Again, it's a Reeves. And this is the P8, Proviance 8. George Rollin, a great trumpeter from the edge of Atlanta, I guess you could call it, was talking about the Proviance 8 that Reeves makes. And he said, it ought to be in the Mouthpiece Hall of Fame. And he plugged it in his horn and, ratcheted right up to close to a double C. I'm not in a position to do that tonight, nor will I be tomorrow in all likelihood. But this will give you an idea, a little crisper sound. Although, as I mentioned, the 42M that I played along with the music is fairly shallow as well. All right, that gives you an idea. Gives you an idea of what the trumpet is able to do. Medium shallow mouthpiece that we started off with, the 42M, and then of course the P8 is maybe a crossover. I'd say it leans a little bit towards the lead type mouthpiece. Okay, we played a song and we've showed you a couple of different mouthpieces. I guess we're done for the night. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you're looking for an old super, good luck. There's a lot of them around. Different vintages do have different benefits. A lot of people like them pre-war, the 30s. The only thing is that I've found with vintage horns, the older you go, the more wear you get on a horn. That's just natural. A lot of times you get leaky valves. You have to use a heavy valve oil. It makes the valves just a little bit sluggish. Or, pay $175 a piece to get your valves replated, whatever they're charging now. This one I use a Hetman 2. I could probably go thinner than that, but I've got a lot of 2 laying around, so it's good enough. Good compression, nice playing horn, and when you can get an old super that's in good shape, then you can say you've got a Super Olds. Thanks as always for touching in. Hope things are going well with you. Any comments that you'd like to make on the horn, experiences with the old super, questions, feel free to toss it out. If I don't know it, we'll do our best to find it, or somebody else can pitch in that no doubt knows more about them than I do. Thanks again. Have a great day. Take care.